a question I've been thinking about a lot is like, why do so many of us struggle with identity? Why is that a kind of a universal struggle, whether you're male, female, older, young? Like, why is this such a central theme for so many of us? And I think it's because it's a fundamental part about us. It's not just like a little like tidbit about us. It is fundamental to who we are. We are beloved to God. And so if any part of our identity can get skewed or distorted in any way, like it's the most bang for the devil's buck, honestly. Like if he can get to any piece of that, there's nothing in our life that doesn't affect. Nothing, like our relationships, how we show up in the world, how we show up in our work or don't. Like there's literally nothing that doesn't touch. So our identity is core to who we are, and this work is so important for us to heal that piece and start to learn how to embrace our belovedness and love ourselves the way that the Lord does.
I think even workaholism, like if we don't think that we are loved, then we're always trying to earn it and we never feel like we're enough. So it's the hamster wheel that you can never get off of.
Exactly.
Now, I know this was something for you. Like you actually started a personal journey to understand your belovedness. Tell me about that and how it ties into Henri Nouwen.
Yeah, so it all started with a book by Henri Nouwen called Life of the Beloved. I can say with certainty that 2 books have changed my life, the Bible and this book. Wow. It met me at the exact right moment. At that point in my life, if you'd looked at my life on paper, you would have thought, she's set, she's golden. She just got married to the love of her life. She's in and out of therapy. She's a spiritual director. I'm writing and releasing music. All of these beautiful things were a part of my life, and yet I kept hitting wall after wall after wall. Every room I'd step in, I'd feel just so self-conscious, just terrible about myself, constantly comparing myself, tearing myself down if I messed up. And so my life was in shambles behind the scenes, and I just couldn't figure out what was going on. This book kind of made it clear to me it was an identity issue. The whole premise of this book is basically every day you're bombarded by this noise, the voices of society, of lies that you believe, fears that you have, doubts that you have, telling you who you are. And what would it look like if you could still that noise and listen to the voice at the center of your being that says, you are my beloved one? Like, how would your life change if you lived out of that place rather than the noise? And it just set me on this journey of trying to intentionally own my belovedness. It has not been an easy journey. I'm still very much on that journey. And some days are better than others, but it has been the most beautiful season of my life, I would say, with the Lord. Just learning how to not only love myself, but like myself.
And sometimes we don't want to go on that journey because we don't want to face our own inner pain or situations that made us feel unworthy. And sometimes it feels selfish to even pursue learning that you're loved, but we really can't love anyone else if we don't love ourselves.
Exactly. That's where it all starts. And Jesus makes that pretty clear. Love your neighbor as yourself is a huge part of it. I think that scripture verse that we maybe skip over sometimes or don't pay attention to, like love others, but it's not selfish to learn how to love yourself. I think that's a big thing that I've been recognizing as I've been sharing this message is that's not selfish, actually. And that's a lie from the devil if you think that it's selfish to learn how to love yourself. The Lord wants to give us abundant life. He made that very clear in John 10:10. I came that you would have life and have it abundantly. And I think a part of that abundant life is learning how to see ourselves in the way that he does. And that's going to take a lifetime. We're not going to just do that once and be set for life. It's going to take a lifetime, but I believe that that's a part of his plan for us.
And it's funny because this year, I think I've really realized that the entire Bible from beginning to end is a love story. It's a story of God's love, pursuing us, pursuing relationship, wanting intimacy. We can't have that if we have walls up.
Yeah.
You were in a songwriting session in Nashville and you were, writing songs and all of a sudden you guys were sharing a little bit about your journey of belovedness, what you're going through, what you're facing. Tell me how that translated into a song.
Yeah. So it was with these 2 amazing songwriters, Tony Wood and Michael Farron. And I was just sharing with them exactly what you're saying, my journey with owning my belovedness. And we actually started writing another song. And then halfway through that experience, Michael just stops us and he's like, I have this idea for a verse. And he just starts singing the verse of what became Belovedness, the song. And it felt like we stopped writing the other song. We were like, we have to write that immediately. It felt like a download. It just felt like a download from above. Like the Lord was just giving us this song. It felt beyond us, and then Belovedness, the song, came into existence, and it's been really incredible over the past 7+ years to play that song for people, to see how it's resonated with people. You know, for me, it was such a lie to, in the moment, just think like, I'm the only one struggling with this. Like, I'm going to release this and I don't know if anyone is going to get it. And it's such a lie. Now I see that for what it is, and just recognizing how many of us are struggling with this. Like I said earlier, it's a universal struggle. You're not the only one. It's a thing that I think all of us have to learn how to navigate.
And it's such a great example of how God takes our own struggles, the things that we're wrestling with, and then uses it to heal other people's hearts. Like that hard work that you're doing on your heart is actually going to multiply in the lives of so many people. And not just because of the song, but also you took the song and you made this beautiful lyrical devotional, which is subtitled, I love, Overcoming Your Inner Critic, Belovedness. Tell me a little bit about this journal, because it's so beautiful.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, I never wanted to be an author. That wasn't on my bucket list or on my bingo card, whatever you want to say. But this song has resonated with so many people in ways that I really wasn't anticipating. And so I thought, you know, you only get so much real estate in a song, and I wanted to break open the theme a bit more. And so the book just follows every line by line of the lyrics, and kind of has stories and reflections from my own life, and then scripture verses and prayers that people can pray, just to enter more deeply into the journey of owning your belovedness. It's not a quick fix. There are no quick fixes in life, but I believe that it can be a tool for people who are even at the start of learning what that looks like to embrace their belovedness, or anywhere on that journey, really.
Yeah, I heard a saying once, energy flows where focus goes. So if you're focused on learning it, like diving into this book, spending time meditating on it, all your energy is going in that, learning that and being healed and getting a revelation. You know, I pray for that all the time, that I would know more how God loves me, because then I know I'll be able to give that to other people, right? It really matters that we take this journey.
Yes.
One of the lyrics that you unpacked in here is, you've owned the voices inside your head. Just talk to me about those voices, the way we talk to ourselves.
Yeah, I don't know about anyone else, but I have a negative self-talk tape loop in my head that has to be interrupted. And I wasn't really aware of it until I started growing intentionally in self-awareness and recognizing, like, I say things to myself that if a friend said them to me, we would no longer be friends. And yet it just goes on in my head without me stopping it unless I'm aware of it. And so I really had to start growing in that self-awareness and not being afraid to hear the voices in my head, not being afraid to face them. I think the evil one keeps us in fear and doesn't want us to face those things, like our wounds or our struggles or whatever it is, because sometimes that can feel overwhelming. It can feel much easier to just numb out, especially with social media and our phones. It's so much easier to just kind of disconnect and not be aware of the battle that's happening internally. And the more that I've become aware of that, the more I've been able to intercept it and ask the Lord for His voice to be king in my heart and in my head.
Yeah, and think about it. If we're listening to those voices that are saying, well, someone else is doing that thing that you're called to do and they're doing it way better, or you're never going to be good enough, we're not going to do the things that God called us to do. We're going to waste our life. Exactly. We have such a limited amount of time here, and we're going to throw it all away because we listen to those voices. And you actually say they're bullies.
Yeah.
Now, you know about bullying because bullying almost stopped you from following your calling in your career.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy how things that kids say to you when you're younger have a way of planting like seeds in your heart and like manifesting in your life and later in life. And I really did struggle with bullying in elementary school. And for the longest time, it kept me from wanting to share my gifts with people, my gift for music and just even who I am. I felt like I didn't want to share that because I was so afraid of that being rejected for so long. And the Lord has done a massive healing work in restoring that love for myself and recognizing that, like, the quirks of who I am, like, that's what makes me who I am. That's a gift that I have for the world, like, just like anyone else. Like, each of us have a piece of God's glory in us that I believe we're each made to shine in our own individual beautiful ways. And if you decide to hide that under a bushel, like, it's only costing the world. Honestly, it's costing the world.
Think about how many billions of people there are in the world, and not one looks the same, acts the same. Like, how did he make so many different kinds of people? It shows you that he loves our diversity. He loves our differences.
Exactly.
He celebrates them. He loves the creativity of how he created us.
Exactly.
Wow, if we could just get that, how will we love each other so much different?
I know. Each of us reflecting a different side of his heart and his beautiful creativity. Yeah, it's beautiful.
Okay, so my favorite line here, I mean, there's so many I want to unpack, but we're not going to have time to do the entire book.
I know, it's okay.
But this one I really loved. I smiled when I made you.
Yeah.
Talk about that one, because, wow, like, I don't think a lot of us realize that.
Yeah, I've been thinking about that a lot, just the idea of being delighted in, and how that's an active thing. Like, you have to embrace that you are delighted in. You have to be willing to be delighted in. You have to be willing to be looked upon, you know what I mean, in a moment like that. And to think about God delighting in you requires you to be still for a moment and think, yes, I want you to see me exactly as I am. I want you to see my flaws and the beautiful things about that make me who I am and everything in between. And he delights in all of that. And being able to sit in that, I think, it's an active, participatory kind of thing. And I think it requires our yes, you know what I mean, to be delighted in. And so that's what I've been thinking about a lot, with just going to the Lord and just remembering I am delighted in, and he smiles when he sees me.
Oh, I love that. And you know, a lot of people who are receiving this message from your song said, I wish I'd known this when I was younger. And you actually decided to write a children's book so that kids can start off with that and not have to fight their way through life, as many of us had to do, thinking that God actually loves us.
Yes, I know. It's crazy to have an adult devotional and a children's book. It's wild to me that that's in existence. But truly, when I was a kid, I wish that I had had these truths just planted in me like little seeds, like I was saying earlier, from a very young age, because who knows how my life could have been different and the pain that I could have avoided if I had truly known my belovedness from young age.
You've all your fear and all your self-loathing. You've owned the voices inside of your head. You've owned the shame and reproach of your failure. It's time to own your belovedness. You've owned your past and how it's defined you. You've owned everything everybody else says. It's time to hear what your Father has spoken. It's time to own your belovedness. 'Cause he says you're mine. I smiled when I made you. I find you beautiful in every way. My love for you is fierce and unending. I'll come to find you, whatever it takes, my beloved. You've owned the mess you see in the mirror. You've owned the lies that you're just not enough. You've been so blinded by all your comparing. It's time to own your belovedness. 'Cause he says you're mine. I smiled when I made you. I find you beautiful in every way. My love for you is fierce and unending. I'll come to find you, whatever it takes, my beloved. Ooh. You are completely loved and fully known. Beloved, believe he died to make your heart his home. And he says you're mine. I smiled when I made you. I find you beautiful in every way. My love for you is fierce and unending. I'll come to find you, whatever it takes. He says you're mine. I smiled when I made you. I find you beautiful in every way. My love for you is fierce and unending. I'll come to find you, whatever it takes. My beloved, it's time